morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and those who are neither, wherever you are in the world. I'm Ramblin' Rusty and this is Ramblin' with Rusty. Yesterday on Ramblin' with Rusty, we finished off the questing around the Outcast Inn, and helped Ethelia regain control of her powers. Seem to have acquired some hiccups. Today, we are going to be following up on that. I actually don't know what we're doing next other than talking to Berrogon here. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
I made some progress with the Hope Route map. Let's talk. I'm still deciphering the map from Hope Route. I can't yet make sense of all the notes, but I figure that any location marked on the map must be important to the recollection. How did your investigations go? You've been busy, friend. Did you learn anything at Feldegard Keep and the Outcast Inn that might clear up the last nagging questions I've got about the Hope Route map? Tell me what happened. You helped Ethelia remember herself? Isn't that what the recollection is trying to do? I suppose you had a good reason, but entangled realities? A strange tale, friend. That's a problem rather beyond my experience. I'm glad you were there to sort things out. And you recovered a lamp? Sounds like some sort of relic. It might be important. So, the planned attack on Feldegard Keep was with Daedric forces, not the recollection? A good thing you were there to help Tribune Alea defend the fortress. And that blade you acquired. As I hoped, your account explains these last few marks on the Hope Route map. Not only were the inn and the keep noted, there's another site the recollection's interested in, an Aeoliad ruin called Niryastare. We need to investigate that ruin next. Niryastare lies in the western Colovian hills. It's rather dilapidated and haunted. I had a harrowing experience there back when I was actively adventuring. Laramil wants to speak with you. Talk to her, then meet me at Niryastare. It was a long time ago, friend. Close to 40 years now. I was part of an adventuring company that explored Niryastare's great... Niryastare was too dangerous for the band I was with. In addition to traps, the Aeoliad ruin was full of undead guardians. But the worst obstacles were the collapsed passages and buried doors. The recollection won't get far.
The permutations of fate created a high probability that you'd... I would like to talk about the relics I heard you describe to Berrogon. The Lamp of Clarity and Abolisher are two of the relics once used to defeat and imprison Ethelia. As I said, they are two of the three relics Mora had created when Ethelia became a threat. He enlisted other Daedric princes against her, and they made the relics. Abolisher was forged by Boethia to cut a path to the Lamp of Clarity, which she recovered from the Outcast Inn, was crafted by Azura. She wrought the lamp to illuminate the many paths, to make the unseen seen. Only one of the three relics remains to be found. A relic woven by Mephala, Daedric Prince of Secrets. It tracks Ethelia and the unseen, but I do not know exactly how. It was locked in a vault long ago and forgotten. Torvasad used Abolisher to open the way to Ethelia's prison. He knows the relics can be used to return her there, and will do anything to prevent that. These ancient tools may be the keys to saving Westweald. And the blade, the lamp, and the skein countered Ethelia's power in ancient times. I think they can do so again. You and Berrogon are fated to seek the skein of secrets in Niryastare. I have my own task.
Presenting us with an interesting conundrum of choices here. In the end, will we help Ethelia or imprison her? Does a person deserve to be imprisoned for something they haven't done? My thoughts on that is no. Not really. So, western, we need to go over here. So we need to go right there as a matter of fact. So let's go ahead and jump up here. And it looks like we'll be doing some of the adventures through here. We are at this point in our adventures through Westfield, so might as well do it.
I will bring your murderer to justice. You've come to the town of Ontus at an unfortunate time, traveler. I myself have only just returned. Coming home to bury one's father, what other explanation is there? My father, Oberon, was town constable. He wrote to me about investigating some suspicious deaths. Then suddenly, I get a letter telling me he had died. I requested leave from the Legion and returned as fast as I could. Not yet. First, I volunteered to replace him as constable. Then I had to make the arrangements to bury him. With multiple deaths to investigate, Your first task is to familiarize yourself with what's happening here. The graveyard is a good place to start. Ontus attracts workers from both the Highlands and Hammerfell. It's known for its prosperous ranch. And the quarry has made a fortune supplying Cyrodiil with stone to repair keeps on all sides of the war. As a legionary, I was. Still am, I suppose. My commanding officer granted me leave to put my father's affairs in order.
Okay. Read gravestones. Gulveshra. Burned the candle at both ends, labored at the ranch by day and in the quarry by night. Too much work led to an early demise. When the fever took him, the entire town cried. So we're dealing with a fever of some kind. A quarrier's quarrier. She never refused hard work, known as the fastest pickaxe in Ontus, died too young from that damn fever, leaving behind friends, loved ones, and a debt as long as the Strid at the Stone Chip gambling den. So 2 people died from a fever. Both worked over hard, well-respected ranch hand, loved animals more than people, could stop a charging bull with a single glance, but could not stand up to fatigue fever.
Come. Tell me your thoughts, Deputy.
Respected constable of the town of Ontus, beloved father, died doing what he loved. Even as the fever ravaged him, he will be missed.
You examined the newest grave markers. Give me your impressions, Deputy. Indeed. My father wrote that both the ranch and the quarry were working their laborers very hard of late. But prior to this, I never heard of a fever that strikes down strong, healthy workers, so the town leaders would have everyone believe. My father made no mention of feeling unwell in his last letter. It was dated the same day he died. He often wrote to me about just that he was baffled. He described fatigue fever as a strange illness that was killing workers, but he had a feeling there was more involved in the deaths. He suspected foul play, and talked to some of the townsfolk. They may be more willing to open up to a stranger than to me. He'd be surprised. My father's letter said he was planning to question Grakuk at the Stone Chip, ranch overseer Marak, and quarry boss Larina. Let's start where he left off and talk to them. Just see what they have to say about recent events. The deaths of their fellow workers. My father. What they think about fatigue fever. My father's office. My office now, I suppose. It's been unoccupied since he died. I know I need to go in there. Take stock of things.
Okay, so we have our orders. Let's see. First, we have the Stone Chip gambling den.
Welcome to the Stone Ship Tavern and Gambling Den, stranger. Looking for work in Ontus? Or did you come to our fine establishment because you heard we host the best games of chance this side of the Strid? So you're Yabrin's new deputy? Good. She could use the help. I'm not sure I could come back and dive into work after losing someone as close as Yabrin. Constable Albrin was a good man. Kept the peace here. Made sure the workers, both native townsfolk and recent arrivals, got along. He was a friend. I know he was concerned about the illness spreading through town. Shame it killed him. We talked all the time. As I said, we were friends. He'd sometimes inquire if there was any chatter in the stone chip he needed to worry about. But the only news I can think of is that a lot of our regulars from the quarry haven't been in a while. Not much to tell. We're a small town full of hard-working people. Most everyone is employed by the Carvane Ranch or the Raxley Quarry. Baron Carvane and Lady Raxley have always had sort of a friendly rivalry, but lately it seems the ranch makes a substantial profit providing food for the town and the region. While the quarry has had some success, since the war for the throne heated up, it's begun to challenge the Baron's status and put a strain on their relationship. It's the illness affecting the workers. Took Constable Albrin, too. We saw the first signs of it a few months back. It started innocently enough. Most thought everyone was working too hard. He was? That's a good question. I suppose maybe it was a little strange that only people who work at the ranch or the quarry were getting sick. Until, that is, Healer Navalma and Albrin got ill. The disease came.
Healer Nabralin, huh? Okay, next stop. Looks to be this one. Tallulah, the constable station. No markers in the back, but there's one apparently upstairs. Let's see if they're... Oh, no, it's all stealing. Okay. See, another typical day in Ontus. The increasing output from the ranch and the quarry have been impressive. So clearly it was murder. Books like the healer's log don't just disappear unless there's something to be hidden. So we'll have to go figure it out. Lots of stuff I could steal in here. Or steal from. I'm not in a stealing mood today, so I'm going to let it go. Let's see. Ranch overseer's house.
Despite rumors to the contrary, Carvane Ranch only hires qualified applicants. Seasoned ranch hands only. We have no time or inclination to train novices. And we especially have no need of rowdies. Perhaps you should inquire at the quarry,
Really? That's rather insulting.
Ah, I see. I had an appointment to speak to her late father. Unfortunately, he succumbed to that terrible malady before that occurred. I'll tell you what I plan to tell him. No crime plagues the town of Ontus. Just a lamentable disease. Isn't that the nature of lawkeepers? To see a crime behind every event? Guilt is the source of every motivation? Baron Carvane ordered me to cooperate, as long as it didn't interfere with the business of the ranch.
Okay. Oh, well, I guess I have...
Despite rumors to... Isn't
supposed to ask him
you
who
really
Baron
are
Carvane
new.
is.
The Baron owns Carvane Ranch, which feeds most of Westweald. This fatigue fever, as it has come to be known, is a burden on business, but you can't toss a disease in the dungeon. If there is...
Yeah. You can't, but you can toss the people causing it in there. Oh, she's over here somewhere. There she is.
Another worker out sick, and right after one of my best died in his sleep. You look strong. Interested in making some coin in the Constable Ulbrin's daughter? Look, if this is about that conversation I had with Yabrin's father, I must have been mistaken. I don't know anything about the illness. Briefly, I thought I noticed something, but I was wrong. Besides, he died before we could talk more. Look, the illness is bad, but my remaining couriers are more than making up for the workers we lost. Listen, I'm just the crew boss. I hire couriers and keep them busy. If you have questions beyond that, you need to talk to Lady Raxley. She owns...
Okay. Well, let's talk to the constable. Fill her in.
Deputy, were you able to interview the townsfolk I suggested? I wonder what my father hoped to get out of talking to them. I know this is all tied to fatigue fever. My father's notebook? It describes how productivity increased lately at both the quarry and the ranch. Interesting. And he mentions how the town healer died suddenly before she could share her findings. That two healthy people, not connected to the ranch or quarry, were suddenly inflicted with fatigue fever and died faster than any other victims. My father planned to talk to Baron Carvane and Lady Raxley next. Let's rally at the Stone Chip Tavern when you're done, Deputy.
Let's see. Oh, he's down here.
The Carvane Ranch does not sell to individual buyers. This is not a general store. Might I suggest the market's in Skingrad? Or glad to hear that young Yabrin has gotten right to work. Her father would be proud. But I am uncertain as to what I can tell you that would help advance. I didn't realize that sickness and illness were now the purview of the town constable. I can tell you what I know. A strange disease has befallen workers at my ranch and at Raxley's quarry. Unfortunate, but there's no... Is it? No matter. None of this is a concern to me, and I have no idea how to help you. I have enough to do just to keep the ranch running in these difficult times.
Yeah. He's crooked as a snake in the winter. It says I need to talk to her below. That means I gotta go back to town. I thought I was at the stage where I had to go up to the quarry. Oops. Too far.
If you're looking for work, please talk to Quarry Boss. Yabrin's back? I assumed she was fighting in Cyrodiil, or guarding the Count's precious bear. If this is about Olbrin's suspicions, I'll tell you what I told the healer. My quarriers enjoy the rewards that come with hard work. Illness is not an issue. Did it? I don't recall any standing appointments. The constable always treated me with the respect I deserve. He never found it inconceivable that My business is none of your concern. We struggled in the past, and were almost forced to sell to Carvane, but we turned things around.
Uh-huh. She's got a chip on her shoulder. Oh, wow. Did I forget to restart my time, or have I actually been recording for that long? Okay. I just forgot to reset the timer. Oh yeah, the stone chip.
Deputy, over here. Deputy, I have a message for you from The constable said she found something at the healers that pointed to a possible source of fatigue fever. She asked me to let you know, and that you should meet up with her. She wants you to help her search Carvane Manor and Lady Ra- That I couldn't say. She wasn't exactly eager to share the details of her investigation in the middle of a town. Carvane Manor is south of town, on the Carvane Ranch. Watch yourself there. The ranch hands don't take kindly to trespassers. As for Lady Raxley...
Okay, so now we're at the point of going to the quarry in the ranch. Let's see, where is the manor's over there? Well, oh, I was behind the manor. That's right. Geez, there's a lot of people here. I would... Boy. I definitely took the long way around to here. Okay. Let's see what we can find. Discovered a substance in newly dug section of the quarry. Could solve our productivity. cabinet is empty. Ship to Zigger's Blind, northeast of Ontus. Lamb, cabbage, potatoes, and flour. Okay, well, food. Nothing unusual, nothing suspicious about that except for the quantities. Let's see, I need to go this way. Oh, that's right. Got to go this way to get in. Trying to remember. There we go. Well, let's see what we can find. And aha. Despite our long-standing rivalry, okay, so a planned murder. The unusual stone that fills the newly dug section of the quarry is very intriguing.
Ah, there you are. We should investigate Zegger's Blind next.
I agree. Didn't I kill these guys once already? Yeah, looks like somebody's just using this area to grind experience points. We, on the other hand, will be headed out. Okay, we're going to call that an episode, folks. Running a little over maybe, or a little short possibly, I'm not sure. But next time on Rambling with Rusty, we will head down to Beggar's Blind and see what we can find. Until then, I'm Rambling Rusty Elm. Have a good night, and don't forget to stop and smell the roses.